guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's video, I want to show you guys how to make some Sims 4 CC really quickly and easy. So the main three programs you guys will be needing to do this is Sims 4 Studio, Blender, and a photo editing program. I'm using Photoshop, so whatever works for you will work for this. It's going to be very quick and really easy. So yeah, let's jump right into the tutorial. So right here I am using Blender version 2.76. I will link everything down below in the description box, so please check that out for links. So the very first thing you guys are probably going to see when you open up Blender is this box, the square. You guys will be like, what is this? So what I'm going to be making is some bakery items, and I feel like that's a little bit easy because this is something that's really easy to work around. So yeah, the very first thing you're going to do is go right down here where it says object mode, click on it and go to edit mode. Doing edit mode, all of this is highlighted, and if somehow it's not highlighted, just press A on your keyboard. A. You will come over here where it says transformation. You will take it and go to the manipulation part, the scale. So yeah, take the blue one goes up and down, and the green one is sideways, and the red one is also sideways or forward, however you see it. So let's try to make like a bakery good, like maybe a pie. So when you think of a pie that's in a box, you just want to think of it, the shape, how thick you think it is, how small, and the correct size, right? And now you guys have your box. The very first time I was doing Blender, I had to save mine a lot just so I don't lose it if, you know, maybe I exit out by accident. So just go to save as. This is just saving it. You could type in whatever. I have mine set in my meshes right down here. I have a folder. So this is where I'm gonna save it. So save it where you will like it to be, where it's easy to find. So you can save it to your desktop. You can make a folder on your desktop, or you guys can make a folder inside the Sims 4 Studio. And I will show you guys that in a minute. Just give it a name. It's saved as a Blender file. And that's it. So let's jump into the folder in case you guys don't know where the folder is. Drive, which I named games, and my Sims 4 Studio is right here. So once I click on it, I have all of this stuff. You know, I have my finished package I made. I have my other things I plan on making. I have my render pics, you know, all this stuff right here. So my mesh is right here where is my bakery goods. So yeah, so anyways, how to make a folder, you just click on your mouse and go to folder and name it. You can name it whatever you want to. And my mesh for it right here, it can stay in the meshes, but if you want to save yours in bakery goods, go ahead and do so. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna click on this solid circle, and we're gonna go up to texture. And the reason we're going to go to texture, you guys could change the edit mode to object mode so you can see it better. The reason we're going to texture is because the box is going to be dark on the other side. So when you do your UV layout, you're probably not going to see the colors on this side with your own actual naked eye. So you're going to probably think you're doing something wrong when indeed you're not. You just need to put some light around it. So go here to your all scenes, and right under your cube it will say lamp. So just scroll out, back out, and you see your little light right there highlighted. Now when light is highlighted, I personally just like to press duplicate, and then you will get a little light. So just drag the light down and just put it closer to the box. That's all you're doing, is just taking the light and putting it closer to the box. So now you want to go back and click on cube. And for the cube, we're going to hop into this part where it says default with the layouts. Click on it and go down to UV editing. Now this is how I personally get my UV maps. And this is what I find to be the easiest possible way to do a UV map for a box. Jump into this and go back into editing mode. And right here it says shading and UVs. You click on it and you go to unwrap. Do not touch anything else. Just click unwrap. There's a whole bunch of these different things that, you know, you could explore if you want to. And if you always click on something by accident, just press reset. It will just reset it back to blank, right? So, yeah, so go to unwrap and you will want to go to project from view. So when you click on it, this is how your thing will look. You don't want it to look like this, but you get the hang of, oh, if the object is this way, or if the object is this way, and I'm taking like a picture from this angle, that's how I see my projects to be, right? So what I usually do when this happens, go to texture. I also unhighlight everything. Now once everything's unhighlighted, there's nothing to unwrap, right? Or you could do it like this: highlight, 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 and highlight. And then you press 7, and now you got this. Now what you do here is go to unwrap and go project from view. Click it, and this is the top view of your box. Now what you do is you take this, you don't need to you could just press A, it highlights, unhighlight. What you're gonna do is just press G. You can just move it over wherever you want to. G moves it over, R rotates it, and S makes it big and small. I just keep it this way, and if I have to make any adjustments, I will later on. But so far, this is what I like, and I'm liking how it looks. So now that the top is pretty much unwrapped, we are going to work on all the corners. Now, all the corners, you do the same. Press 5, or you can press 2. You just want this to be equal, so that's how I do it. I just press 5. I just want this to be as equal, and then just unwrap it. And now you have this side. You will press G and put it down here. So now when you go to A, you press A everywhere. This is how the box looks. You're taking pieces from this box. So don't mind this, but this is the layout of this, the top view, and one of the side views. So now you repeat all over for the next side. Okay, so this is the finish of our UV layout map. Again, it's not perfect, but this is where we are going to go ahead and fix it. But it's not really gonna be too much of a difference, since all of this again is going to be more of like a cardboard texture, because again, we're making baking goods. So you don't need to really worry about if they're the correct sizing. But for anything else, or if this does bother you, go ahead and resize it. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So like earlier, you could press shift and right click on all corners if you want to. You could also just do, press B and highlight it all, or you could go ahead and hold down shift and ALT on your keyboard, which is Alt, and right click on both corners and you also highlight it. So either one works fine. It's all going to do the same thing. So we're just going to, match them up down here. There are things you might have to change later on. Like if you're going to put a logo right here, sometimes the logo may look flipped over. Like say if this part is like, if this right here is for this, and instead of it saying like mixed doll here, it might say mixed doll. You will just highlight this part that is flipped. So just highlight the part that's flipped, and then you go to UV, and then you go to mirror, and you will just change it to X. And or if it even's upside down, you press Y. So for this part right here, and for this part, we're done. But for us to get our baking goods to look really good, we need to go to UVs and export UV layout. Now what this does is that this takes everything here and it just saves like a PNG, right? Or a transparent where it shows the outlays of this. And then you would take that into your photo editing, which is mine is Photoshop, and you would just place your pictures there so it could pop up. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that real quick, okay? Go to UVs, export. Again, mine is here where everything's at. So I'm gonna put mine in my baking goods folder. It already has the name baking goods PNG. And then just export UV layout. So just save it, and that's it. And now this is my layout. There's nothing here. What I usually do to help me is I create a new layer. And since I know I want to do baking goods and the box is kind of like a brownish color, I usually go to my paint bucket tool. Again, this is Photoshop. So if you guys have Photoshop, this is where you guys should go. Or any other program, it should have a paint bucket tool. If not, you could use a brush. But I'm just gonna pick a random brown color. And I will change it later on, but this is just gonna give me look at my layout better. So yeah, anyways, this is our layout and this is the color we had chosen. So now what we will do is throw a picture in here. I'm just gonna cut this part out, and how I'm doing this is that I can just use the select tool. I just outline in the box, and I'm gonna hold down Control C. You copy it, and then while you also hold it down Control, you want to press V after you press C, and that pastes it. And what I usually do is just hide this layer. So now that we're back in Blender, you want to go ahead and make sure you're set on texture and just highlight everything over here. And then we're going to go to image, and then we're going to go open image. So now you want to go to your bakery goods folder and press that. And this is how, after you press objects, this is how your items look. Editing and go to default, and now when you do this, sometimes it may not be on put on texture, maybe put on solid or material. You can just go here and just put it back on texture. There's nothing too much to it. And this is how you make your object. So go to SIMS Studios. Right under objects, you guys want to go to create 3D mesh. It will be set on standalone recolor. You do not want that. You want a 3D mesh, and you press objects. The first thing you want to do is look for something that's base game, so it's easier for everyone to download and you don't have to worry about too much, right? So what I usually do is I use a book. So I go to the search and I type in book, and the books I use are these. So I press books, I click on them, press next, and now they're gonna ask for you to save this. So go ahead and name it. Mine is called Mixed Doll Bakery Goods, so you go ahead and save. And I usually change everything as soon as I get in here, just to get it over with. How much is a pie originally at the store? Around $5. I usually put my @ and yeah, so now we're going to export or import the new mesh. But before we do that, we need to get rid of this, right? So you're gonna jump into meshes and you're gonna press export. And if you want to, you could keep it in your bakery goods. Now that's called pie mesh. And we're just gonna save it. And that's it, and that's the pie mesh. So what we're going to do now is minimize these and we're gonna go back into here. Now after that, we're gonna go to File on the top corner, go down to Append, and now we're gonna go to our bakery goods folder and we're gonna go to Pie Mesh Blend. And then we're gonna go to Object, and then you're gonna highlight only Studio Mesh 1 and Studio Mesh 0. The only ones you would need to highlight. And you append from a library. And this is it. So you're still highlighted over here in this corner. You'll still be highlighted on Cube. So you need to click on Cube. And this is when you guys will go ahead and, you know, decide if this pie is too big or too small. From this corner over here and go to Mesh 1. Mesh 1 is the books. Mesh 0 is technically the shadows. So we're not gonna focus on this one right now. We're just gonna focus on this. So go to Mesh 1 and move the books over a little. So now you wanna make sure you still highlight it on cubes, the cube up here, and make sure this triangle area is highlighted. And then you're gonna go down to Mesh 1, hold Shift, and press that too. Now both of them should be highlighted. Now while both of them are highlighted, you're gonna press on your keyboard Control J, and that joins them. Now both of them are joined, but you don't want the book there. So what you're gonna do is go into your edit mode, press A because the pie is gonna be highlighted. You don't want the pie highlighted. Press B, highlight all the books. You're gonna probably have to do this a few times. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but this is how I do it. And then you're just gonna press X and delete vertices or whatever it's called and delete that. And if you delete the pie by accident, like say for example you do this, you move it so quick you don't realize you deleted the pie, just press Control Z and the pie's there. Just be very mindful of what you're deleting, okay? Okay, the book is completely gone, but I like this little thing to go back to where it needs to be. So how I do that is I just take the pie, press 5 to make sure I measure correctly, and just put it right there, and then go back to object mode and just move the pie right back to where it should be. I mean, you don't have to do this, I just like doing that. So yeah, and that's where the pie is. After that, you know, stay in object mode. You want to go to your textures right over here. This just displays like, you know, just the PNG that you know, just the mesh you had, and the mesh was obviously books, so it's displaying the UV PNG for the books. So I usually change that. I don't think it does anything, but I do change that. And I click on this right down here, the diffuse, and I go up to bakery goods and I click on it, and just change it to the bakery goods. And then over here, the material is also changed. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, and that's right after you're done with that, you want to go into File and you want to press Save As. Now you're just gonna go into your bakery goods, and this is gonna say Bakery Goods Blend. You can save it like that, or save it under any name you want. I'm going to enter mesh at the end of that, so I know this is the mesh for it. And you're going to save it as a Blender file. Now, once that is done, you're going to click on this and you're going to delete. But you'll go here, just like, you know, two little objects right here, click on it, and down below it will say cut. You click on cut, delete, and press 0 and enter. And then you do the same thing. You will save this on save as, and instead of putting mesh, I like to put shadow here so I know exactly which one is which. So go into the SIMS for Studio and go to import mesh, and then you go to bakery goods mesh, and now this is it. Repeat that on the next couple of LODs for the mesh, and then when you get into the shadow LOD, this is why you need to enter the shadow one. And now the shadow box is there. So after you're done with that, go back to the high LOD just to, you know, so you guys can see it better. And go to textures. I like to delete these because nobody cares about the colors. So you will go to import and go to bakery goods. And that's how you get your texture bakery goods into the game. And I like to right click on this to get the color dropper and click it, and now I have a color dropper swatch. So yeah, and if you want, you go to tags, and this is decorations for kids. It's in the clutter. You could just, where you want to find a decorative item, do you want to find it in the decoration list? So before we finish and go check it out in game, we are going to go to warehouse, and that's the DST image, but not the one, not this one. As you see, it's one. I mean, it's 1024. You don't want to change the 1024. You want to change the ones that is like set at 256, and that's because we had originally got the books, and the books are automatically set like that. But since our image is now at 1024, we need to match up these images to 1024. So you go to import, and again, all of this stuff that you will need for this will be linked down below to download. So please pay attention to that. But anyways, go to import, and I have mine set in a different folder. So you will go here and you will just take this one. This one is a lighter color. Import it, and now it's at the correct size. For the second one, you want to do the exact same thing, but you want to go to number 3. Number 3 and number 4 are the same exact things. I just duplicated it, but you just go to number 3 and that's it. And these two are different colors. So let's make some more textures, you know, for the pie. I have 2 more swatches. I want to add some swatches. I got a lot more swatches, but I'm adding 2 more for now, and then I'll show you guys the finished project at the end with all of the swatches. Go to save, your package will be saved, and then you go to your bakery goods and you will get your package file you just made. I like to copy mine because I like to have 2 or 3 of everything. I'm going to go into my mods folder in my Sims 4. None of my stuff is organized, but it is what it is. I'm going to my folder. This is all my little stuff I made. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste that right here. So now that it's here, we're just gonna jump right into the game and see how it looks. Okay, so now that we're in the game, we're going to go ahead and search for our package. And mine is under mixed doll, so I'm gonna type in mixed doll. You will type in a search whatever you have named your package file. You can also type in bakery goods. I'm sure it'll pop up. I'm gonna go ahead and type in mixed doll, and bakery goods is gonna be right here. So I'm just gonna click on it. And there goes my bakery goods. So I'm gonna go ahead and place it down. And those are my items, and I'll place down all of them so you guys can all see. That is how we make our pies, you guys. That is how you make objects for the game. I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a few in-game photos real quick. I'm also gonna take some renders. I'm gonna add some more swatches into mine. Okay, you guys, and that is it for the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, again, check the description for all of the links. If you guys have any questions, do not be afraid to ask me. I'm here for any of them questions, and we can look for the answer together if I don't know, or I could just answer it. I am not a professional at this. I still do not know what majority of this means. All I know, and we want to make the game fun. You know, so if you guys like to make food decorations or whatever, just be on the lookout. I am going to try my hardest to upload more. There's a lot of noise in the background, so I apologize for that. I am trying my hardest to get these videos out. Yeah, again, these are the textures we've done. I will add more textures. You guys will see them at the end of this. Do enjoy this video. So yeah, and also thank you guys so much for 1K subscribers. I know it's been so long and I haven't said thank you, so I do apologize for that, but I am very appreciative and thank you guys so much. I love you all. Thank you for the support, and just bear with me and be with me, and let's grow together. So yeah, peace out, you guys. Bye.